ever get this feeling like certain cities, they kind of draw you in, like they've got secrets just waiting for you to uncover them?
Yeah.
That's Moscow for me, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So today we are diving deep into Moscow. We're
Okay.
talking the must-see spots, the iconic landmarks. But, it's not just about like checking them off a list, right? It's about understanding what they tell us about Russia, its history, its culture, like the soul of the place.
You're absolutely right. Each landmark, it's like a piece of a much larger story.
Exactly.
We're talking Tsarist opulence, the kind of that stark reality of the Soviet era, and then how those things all get woven into present-day Russia.
Okay, so let's jump right in. Let's start in the heart of it all.
Okay.
Red Square.
Yeah.
It's more than just a plaza, though, isn't it?
Oh, way more. I mean, geographically, yes, the center of Moscow.
Yeah.
But it's really the symbolic heart of Russia as a whole. You've got the Kremlin right there, this fortress that just radiates power. It's been the seat of power for centuries.
Right.
And then right across from it, you have St. Basil's Cathedral. This explosion of color, this like almost defiance of faith right there in your face. Worldly might and spiritual devotion all in one spot.
I love that. And speaking of St. Basil's, we got to talk about those onion domes. They're incredible to look at, but why are they designed that way?
They're so iconic, and most people, they don't realize they're not just a pretty design. In Russian Orthodox architecture, they actually represent candles, flames reaching up to heaven, symbolizing prayers. And if you want to go even deeper, there's this whole legend about St. Basil's.
Yeah.
So the story goes that Ivan the Terrible, who was notorious for, well, let's just say not being a very nice guy, had the architect blinded after he finished the cathedral.
What?
Yeah. Whether it's true or not is debated, but it just adds to the whole mystique of the place.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of stories and legends, we're near the Kremlin, and earlier you mentioned it's not just one building, right? It's this whole complex.
Oh, yeah. It's basically a city within a city.
Yeah.
You could wander around those grounds for days and still not see everything. You're walking the same paths that Tsars and Tsarinas walked. You've got palaces, cathedrals, museums. To me, the Grand Kremlin Palace, it just embodies that Tsarist grandeur.
And it's amazing to think it's still the official residence of the Russian president. But let's shift gears a bit. Moscow isn't just about political power.
No, not at all.
We've got to talk about the Bolshoi Theatre.
Absolutely. From the raw power of the Kremlin to the artistic heart of Russia. That's the Bolshoi. It's world-renowned for a reason. Ballet, opera, you name it.
Yeah.
It draws people from every corner of the globe.
It's like those landmarks show us both sides of the coin, the power, the history, and then the artistry.
Absolutely.
Now, we've been focusing on historical sites. What about somewhere a bit more modern? What's the vibe like at Gorky Park?
Gorky Park. It's like stepping into the pulse of present-day Moscow. Imagine this green oasis right in the middle of this bustling city. Muscovites go there to just escape,
Yeah.
Soak up some sun, enjoy the outdoors. There are cultural events, art installations. It's always evolving.
So I guess what we're really getting at is from the grandeur of the Kremlin to that more modern vibe at Gorky Park, these places aren't just destinations.
Yeah.
They're like these puzzle pieces that come together to give us a picture of Moscow.
You really are. And that's the beauty of it. Moscow is a city of layers. So what will your Moscow story be?